Total Sport.
BBC Radio London.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the programme, and confirmation that Roberto De Zerbi is the new men's head coach on a long-term contract at Tottenham. The club confirming that at 4:45 this afternoon. A statement from the new head coach on the club's website saying, "I'm delighted to be joining this fantastic football club, which is one of the biggest and most prestigious in the world. In all my discussions with the club's leadership, their ambition for the future was clear: to build a team capable of reaching great achievements, and to do that playing a style of football that excites and inspires our supporters. I'm here because I believe in that ambition, and I have signed a long-term contract to give everything to deliver it." Of course, he takes over a side that are in 17th in the Premier League at the moment, just 1 point above the relegation zone, and without a win in the Premier League in this calendar year, in 2026. Let's speak to Chris Cowlin from the Spurs Chat Podcast. Evening to you, Chris.
Emma, good evening to you.
I suppose you were expecting this to be the news, so how do you feel now it's been confirmed?
Yeah, I've got very mixed feelings about it. Of course, this is our third manager of the 25-26 campaign and our fourth manager in 10 months. And in all honesty, we've gone round in circles for a number of years ever since we moved into that stadium, because this is now the seventh permanent appointment since Pochettino left in 2019. We've also had 4 interim appointments as well. So we've gone round in circles in terms of managers. But you know, we are sitting, like you said, 17th, 1 point above the relegation zone. We could be in the relegation zone by the time we play Sunderland away on the 12th of April. So we are in a desperate state right now as a football club. And we're just hoping now that Roberto De Zerbi, our third manager of this campaign, is our saviour. And hopefully he can get more out of this group of players, which have underperformed this season. I think that's fair to say. Yes, we've had a lot of injuries, but we know that there is more to come from this group, this playing group. So we just hope that Roberto De Zerbi is the man now to get us the points that we need.
Yes, I'm just looking at his track record elsewhere. The Italian has taken over mid-season at 3 different clubs. His record in the first 7 games hasn't been great. Managed just 1 win at Palermo in 2016 before eventually getting the sack. No wins at Benevento, is that how I say that? The following season, as they were relegated from Serie A. So, I mean, what's he going to do at Tottenham that he hasn't achieved elsewhere?
Well, Emma, we don't have time. That's one thing we don't have. We don't have time at all. We've got 7 games, and these are like 7 cup finals. 7 huge games in the club's history to keep us in the Premier League. And like you mentioned there, the last couple of jobs, Brighton, he didn't start off well in the Premier League, actually. It was 2 draws and 3 defeats in his first 5 Premier League games. But at Marseille recently, his first 5 were 4 wins and 1 draw. So we're hoping that he gets off to a fantastic start. But like I said, it's about getting the best out of these players, drill the players on the training pitch to do, the job that he wants. He isn't going to get the time to implement his playing style, and that's one thing I really do like about De Zerbi, his playing style. I think long term, Spurs fans will really like the way that he sets up and the entertaining football that he wants to play. And he talks about ambition there in the short statement that the club have put out today. And that's, of course, what all Spurs fans want to hear about, the ambition. But we've heard this for a long period of time. We've heard this type of stuff said in many, many statements, across all these different managers. It is about now delivering on the pitch, because there have been so many poor decisions, ownership level, board level, the leadership group, etc. So we need to see delivery on the pitch. Transfer windows need to be a lot better. And I've no doubt that De Zerbi will really demand the very best in terms of transfer windows and players coming in. But we also know that he's got a proven track record of falling out with boards and also players. So this is going to be a very, very interesting appointment. We have gone down this route before, having a fiery Italian, and look how that one worked out.
Yes. And it's we understand there isn't a release clause in his contract, or because previously I understood from reports that he'd basically said, I don't want to become the Tottenham manager if they're going to get relegated. But now he's saying he won't walk away from the club if they are in the Championship next season.
I like that. I tell you what, if you come into Spurs, don't leave after 7 games if Spurs are in the Championship. If you're going to come, be in it for the long haul and be in it for the project, the long-term plan, so to speak. So I do like that, the fact that he is in it. And, these next 7 games, like I said, are absolutely huge. And, the thought of going down to the Championship makes me physically sick, if I'm honest. And if I see Spurs in the bottom 3, I'm going to feel like that as well. So, these are huge games.
Some of the supporters, Chris, not happy with this appointment. Let me just read out to our listeners a few of the comments that have been made by supporters groups. The Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust actually held an emergency board meeting on Monday night and contacted the club to say it couldn't support the appointment. Has issued a statement today after Roberto De Zerbi's appointment was confirmed, saying that his comments about Mason Greenwood, and this is where the issue lies, a player who he had at Marseille, who he appeared to support. He said that the Supporters Trust issuing a statement saying De Zerbi's comments about Mason Greenwood were unnecessary, ill-judged and deeply offensive to a significant number of supporters. It's concerning the club would put us in this position right when the team needs the fans most. If these remarks reflect his genuine views, they cast a troubling shadow over the values of the club we love. The club must reassert its commitment to the values that fans hold dear, chief among them equality, respect and integrity. Our preference would have been for a short-term appointment of an individual or individuals who understand the club. Also, there was opposition to this appointment from the Women of the Lane supporters group. Ali Speechley, who's the co-founder of that group, said that if De Zerbi was appointed, she would stop attending matches over the issues. This is what she's had to say today.
I think for me, especially someone who I coached football for the best part of 10 years, and I know that actually you can't really separate out the character of a coach from their ability to then coach players. And the reason I say that is because I think actually the best coaches are authentic coaches and are coaches that are true to themselves. And so my issue with Roberto De Zerbi is that he has shown his character very clearly over the years, but specifically with his treatment of Mason Greenwood. The fact that he hired him as a player when no one else wanted him for very good reason, and then continued to publicly back him and support him, sympathise with him around, what a difficult time Mason Greenwood has supposedly been through. And for me, that's just unforgivable. And I think that speaks to the character of De Zerbi. And therefore, I don't want him anywhere near my football club.
Well, Ali Speechley also in that interview saying that, she would stop attending matches if Roberto De Zerbi was appointed. The Proud Lily Whites have also issued a statement this evening, another supporters group, saying, while we disagree with the managerial choice in terms of culture and competence, we will continue to support the players without pretending to be comfortable with the appointment. Staying silent is not the answer, but choosing when and where to be vocal matters. Managers come and go, executives come and go, players come and go, fans remain. We are the constant in this club. We will continue to represent the views of our members to the club alongside the other supporter associations. Chris, some strong views from some supporters groups, understandably. The Supporters Trust saying the club needs to reassert its commitment to the values the fans hold dear, equality, respect, integrity. Hearing from Ali there as well, the feeling that maybe this isn't a manager who has demonstrated his integrity, and that is a concern.
Yeah, Emma, I don't know what else really to add there because it has already been said, and I completely agree with all of those comments. And very, very disappointing to hear that Roberto De Zerbi has supported Mason Greenwood through all of that situation, and I don't think there's anyone in this country or in the world actually that would agree with what happened there. So very, very disappointing, and it's very disappointing to hear that some people will not now attend games because of De Zerbi's appointment and his support of Mason Greenwood, etc. But Yeah, it's a very, very difficult situation, and interestingly, because the supporters trust and a lot of these fan groups, they are actually in FAB meetings and they're actually in meetings with board members. So the board members clearly haven't listened to what the fans have wanted. And another interesting situation as well is the fact that the fans for such a long period of time, particularly this season where Spurs have been so poor on and off the pitch, that the fans have wanted someone like Mauricio Pochettino back at the football club. And I do feel that a lot of the fans thought that they would be listened to and the board would actually give the fans what they wanted. But of course, they've gone down their own route. They do what they want to do. But like the comment said there, the fans are always there. The fans are there for life. Board members are there for a short period of time. Managers are there for a very short period of time, and so are the players. But you need to look after the fans and make sure the fans are always happy.
Yes, and it feels like perhaps for some of these supporters, some of these fans groups, they feel that yet again they're not being listened to.
Yeah.
And there is this divide, isn't there, between supporters and the board?
There's a lot of divide, and this has been going on for some time. And a lot of decisions have been so poor in recent years and recent seasons, and this season has been particularly poor. I think we're in this situation because a decision wasn't made to let Thomas Frank go sooner, because that clearly wasn't working. And then Igor Tudor came in for 44 days. That seems to be an absolute waste of time. And now we're on our third manager of this season. And like you said, there is a real divide amongst the fan base. Normally when a decision like this happens, there is normally a lot of excitement about a brand new manager coming in. And sadly, I don't see any excitement about this manager coming in, because, of course, we're all sitting here worried about our Premier League status and, the real reality of us playing in the Championship. And then, of course, his comments about Mason Greenwood, etc. Not a lot of people are happy at all with what he said.
Chris, great to speak to you as always. Chris Cowlin there from the Spurs Chat Podcast, reacting to the news confirmed today that Roberto De Zerbi has agreed a new long-term contract to be the new Tottenham head coach.
Total Sport. BBC Radio London.
Now, on a Tuesday evening, usually between 6 and 7, we dedicate a lot of the programme to